Hello, everyone, and welcome to September the 9th regular town council meeting of the town of Vegreville. I call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. I'll be looking for a motion to adopt the agenda. Councillor Curtis makes the motion. Is there any additions or deletions? All those in favor? Carried. I'll just let everybody know that Councillor Rudick is joining us online this evening. So she is here. Next up, adoption of the minutes of our last regular meeting. Councillor Bullock makes the motion. Any errors or omissions within those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, first up, correspondence.
Thank you, Your Worship. This correspondence is from the Honourable Rick McIver, Minister of Municipal Affairs, and it's regarding the 2025 Fire Services Training Program grant. Dear elected officials, it is my pleasure to announce that Municipal Affairs is providing $500,000 in grant funding for the 2025 Fire Services Training Program. This government recognizes the important work of fire services and that the public safety is always a priority. While Municipal Affairs respects that fire services are a municipal responsibility, we also recognize that strong provincial municipal partnership is key to keeping Albertans safe. This grant provides supplemental funding supports to assist Alberta communities in ensuring their local fire services are adequately trained to respond to identify community risk. Courses approved for delivery under this grant will align with the following key outcomes. Public safety is preserved in Alberta, community risk is effectively managed by local authorities, and firefighters are able to receive training in alignment with best practices. Grant information along with grant guidelines and application forms are available on their website. Please forward this information to your chief administrative officers and fire chiefs so they may complete the application form. Collaboration involving multiple municipalities is permitted but not required. If you have any questions regarding the grant applications or the program guidelines, feel free to contact Municipal Affairs. This grant program will assist fire departments across the province to be prepared with the knowledge and the skills to protect their communities. I look forward to reviewing your 2025 Fire Services Training Program submissions. Sincerely, Rick McIver.
Okay, thank you. Take a motion to receive and file. Councillor Lemko makes the motion. Any discussion? Well, I hope everybody heard that. That's $500,000 to be shared with every fire department in the province.
Yes.
So, a training day for firefighters costs quite a bit of money. So I know I've been reading some stuff on some local social media that says that the government provides us with the money for trucks and all of our equipment and stuff. So you can just see here, if every fire department in the province has to share $500,000, just so everybody gets it straight. So there's, I know, a lot of misconceptions out there that are on social media today. So go ahead.
We applied for the same grant in 2024, and we received the maximum amount allotted to municipalities of $7,946.
Wow. So that was in 2024.
That was 2024, and it was $500,000 for all of fire departments in Alberta again.
So we probably wouldn't qualify again this year.
Well, we're going to try.
Well, we'll try.
We'll try.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Councillor.
I just have a question on that. Are we able to stack up with other groups on this one and each apply for funding? Or just wondering, like last time, whether we just did it with our department or whether we did any kind of regional training that we applied the grant to?
We can apply regionally, but we don't have to. Regional component is not one of the qualifiers, so we're fine doing it on every municipality can apply on their own, and yeah, that's the maximum that they will receive is $7,946.
Oh, yeah. Then in that case, of course, we'll each want to do it because it's not going to cover even the training on our own. So, okay, yeah. I just wondered if they had an additional component. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Councillor Lemko.
Yes, I want to just go back to the letter itself and to tag on His Worship's comment. In the letter, it states, while municipal affairs respects that fire services are a municipal responsibility, we also recognize that a strong provincial-municipal partnership is key to keeping Albertans safe. So again, going back to that misconception out there that the province supplies equipment and materials through grants for the municipal communities to buy fire trucks and such. Such is not the case. That's on the taxpayer.
Well, you could use the money, instead of fixing your roads, you could use the money to buy a fire truck. But it's just another year without fixing roads, so.
And it's not a separate allocation.
No, it's not separate. It's in that smaller pile than what we used to get. Okay, so all those in favor? Carried. Okay, request for council decision.
Okay, next up, we have a request for council decision. The topic is the County of Minburn, Alberta Community Partnership, ACP grant application. So the proposal is to participate in an ACP grant application for regional elected official orientation training. The background on this is that recent amendments to the Municipal Government Act made by Bill 20 have changed the regulations regarding the orientation training for elected officials. Previously, a municipality had to offer orientation training to each councillor within 90 days of taking their oath of office. The amendment now states that each councillor must attend orientation training prior to the first organizational meeting. To ensure this training is complete, the County of Minburn has proposed a regional orientation training schedule for the elected officials of the County of Minburn, Town of Vegreville, Village of Innisfree, and the Village of Manville. The county will be applying for the ACP grant to fund this training program. Financial implications. A successful partnership in grant funding would result in reduced expenses for the Town of Vegreville. The town will still budget for an elected officials orientation training in case the County of Minburn is unsuccessful in their grant application. Communication strategy. If passed, administration will notify the County of Minburn of the approved motion prior to the ACP application deadline. So the recommendation this evening is that the Town of Vegreville participate in the Alberta Community Partnership Grant application for regional elected official orientation training with the County of Minburn, Village of Innisfree, and Village of Manville, with the County of Minburn as the managing partner.
Okay, thank you very much. Take a motion for the recommendation. Councilor Wallen makes the motion. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councilor Curtis.
Thank you. I think it's great that we're, excuse me, working together with the different counties and towns. The collaboration portion is always looked favorably upon by the province, and you know it's very important to have these this training for us as well to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do, living within the MGA. And as we've seen, a few other towns have had some troubles with people not acting appropriately, and it's been municipal affairs that's come down pretty heavy. So I think this is important.
Okay, and again, the fact that there probably will be a lot of new councilors on each council, it's nice that we can do this in a partnership with other municipalities within the county. It just shows a real good level of cooperations. All those in favor? Carried. Is Councilor with us?
I believe she is, Your Worship. There she is.
Oh, I didn't see you vote, so.
I'm in favor of everything so far, especially regional collaboration.
Excellent. I thought you'd be high on that one. Okay. Here, one more here, CAO Ling.
Okay, next up is a request for council decision regarding Christmas hours for 2024. So the proposal is to close the town offices and operations on December 27th, 2024. The background on this is the past practice of the town is to have the town offices and operations open till noon on December 24th, Christmas Eve. The town facilities then remain closed until the first working day after Boxing Day. In 2024, the first working day after Boxing Day is Friday, December 27th. The town offices and operations will be closed from noon on December 24th through to December 26th to reopen on December 27th. I am asking council to consider closing the town offices and operations for the full day of December 27th by giving the employees a day off with pay. There is no direct financial implications, as the wages would be paid whether the employees worked that day or were provided the day off with pay. The communication strategy is that notices will be placed at the town office and other town facilities, posted on social media and the town's website. So the recommendation is that town council approve the closure of town offices and operations for December 27th, 2024, and further, that the town employees be given December 27th, 2024 off with pay.
Okay. Take a motion for the recommendation. Councillor Barry makes the motion. Discussion? Well, we'll start with the Councillor Barry and then we'll go to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. If I recall correctly, Elaine, this is not something new. We did actually do this a number of years ago when had the same dates, sort of when the Friday was kind of the hanger in between. And I believe that we approved it at that time.
Yes, in 2019.
2019 it
Year
was?
that,
Yeah.
The 27th was again a Friday.
Yeah. I'm in favor of it because I think that it's good for the employees. It's difficult to come back for that one day. It's going to be a relatively non-productive day. So I'm in favor of it.
Okay. Councillor Ward.
I was just going to mention that when this was first brought to us, we had also asked, and I'll let the CO confirm, but we did say that for anybody watching, they should be aware if there were still any emergent situations or some of our other type operations that would go on, they would still happen regardless should something arise.
Yes, that is correct. Like, for example, if we need to do snow clearing, if we happen to get a huge snowfall that requires the plows to be out, they will definitely roll on those days.
Okay. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, so we're going to start with council reports, and we're going to start with Councillor Lemko.
Thanks, Your Worship. August 20th, I attended the Tourism Advisory Board meeting, and I'll refer that to my colleague, Councillor Curtis, who is the chair of that committee. 21st of August, the council workshop. The 23rd, I was on a MD Minburn Foundation Zoom call, again dealing with stuff with the Minburn Foundation. 26th, I was on a Teams call with ASA, update on what's happening with the Ukrainian file. On the 26th, I also attended the Minburn Building Committee meeting, and that was updates on where the status of our proposal, the final draft towards our many options for the build, which we presented on September 3rd at the Ledge meeting. September 4th, I came to council chambers here and did a partner award video presentation for the award that was going to be presented to the Vegreville area Stands with Ukraine. A little video discussing some of the works leading up to the award. September 5th, I was at fall registration night at the social center, and seeing the number of tables that were set up there was a great event. Lots of people, lots of potential areas where people can sign up their kids and even themselves into the many items that are available to community members. September 5th, I also spent some time at the recreational feasibility study, which was at the social center as well. Presentation there, and it was encouraging to see the number of people getting involved and asking questions there. It was a great timing to have that study there, capturing the amount of people and some energy around that within the community. It was a great event. And tonight's council meeting, Your Worship, That's my report.
Well, thank you very much. Councilor Wara.
Thank you. Mine, of course, is very short and sweet since I was on holidays for one of the weeks. So I basically had the main meetings of the 21st with the council workshop, our legislative meeting on the 3rd, and then tonight's council meeting. And the only other thing that I just wanted to, since there's an extra moment there, is it's a little bit of a plug on the federal side, but I'm still going to do it because we got emails to this. If there's any residents that would like to nominate somebody, the deadline for nominating a person for the King's Coronation Medal is on the 30th. Reach out to your local MP. And it can be for somebody who has done something on a local, provincial, or federal level that has kind of brought light to Canada, or the same in international, as well as different categories with education and whatnot. But we have a lot of great volunteers in our communities, so I just encourage everybody that has a name, put it forward.
And what's the cutoff date for that?
It'll be the 30th, and this one is a little bit different than when the Queen's Medal was presented prior, or Queen's Pin and Medal, but at that time the province had a few more to give out as well, because typically there'll be different organizations that do it. So they will give some to members of parliament and then some to MLAs, and this time the MLAs only have one to give out, so they don't have very many as well. With MPs, there is only 20 for all of Lakeland riding, but there's also partnered organizations that will be taking part in, the people can apply to those organizations as well. But there is quite a strong criteria, including you must disclose as a nominee your information as well as the person being nominated. But this particular medal as well can be given to individuals who have passed as long as they were still with us on the date of the King's coronation.
Excellent.
That's it.
Thank you. Councilor Barry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I was also at the council workshop on August 21st. On the 27th, I attended a meeting with Sunrise Estate Services at the museum, getting ready to start moving towards the final phase at auctioning off the last remaining items at the museum. We're to that stage now. On August 27th, a joint meeting between the Vermilion River Watershed Alliance and the North Saskatchewan Watershed Alliance, our executive boards, to discuss the future directions that we're going. We need to hire a new coordinator for the area, and they're just trying to decide just which direction we should be going, and also getting everything on board so that we can start looking at what projects we might be able to entertain in the future. So we're just kind of in that transition phase right now of having a lot of projects wrapped up, and the North Saskatchewan River Watershed Alliance recognizing that they need to be more involved in all of the watersheds, because we were feeling that we were getting left out a little bit. So in the new management style, we're hoping that we can start getting some more projects going out here. On the 29th, sat in with the Deputy Reeve Tara from the county and Lindsay at the hospital for a rural care strategy session where we had consultants and members from Edmonton with healthcare. And they're doing a survey basically of a lot of us to look at what rural healthcare really entails, what are some of the difficulties, what are some of the benefits of fortifying and increasing rural healthcare. And it was a very good session. I'm waiting to see just how they compile it all back up. But I think between the three of us, we put forward some definite ideas that the rural is being left behind and that we have to start getting an awful lot more consideration, because doctors, nurses, we're doing fairly well at it, but the province really has to get their act together and get moving faster on getting all of the changes that they're promising. So I'm hoping that that went well. And before I say tonight's council meeting, I've probably spent most of my time out either at the museum or in the corn maze. because the corn maze went this last weekend. It was actually a little bit too hot. I think our numbers were down because people just try to look at it as being another summer day. And why would you want to go out and tromp around through a corn maze in 30-degree temperature? It's supposed to be a little cooler this coming weekend. Certainly hoping that the numbers will come up. A lot of really good events out there. So there's just be this weekend and the following weekend. And if people don't show up, they're going to miss out. But I was very pleased to see that there was a lot of children out there. And actually, a lot that were even under the age of 5. So it was very interesting to see that there was a lot of families that did come out. So I'm encouraged by that. And that's it for me tonight. Thanks.
Excellent. Do you know of anybody from the Vermilion River Watershed Alliance will be attending the tour at the cemetery and the presentation the town's putting on that, how the riverbank was reinforced on the 24th?
I don't have confirmation of who will be attending, but I know that they have been invited.
Sure.
And I know that I'm quite certain that they will be coming, because I think they'd be very interested in seeing just how that project went. It was a great project, and I think our department can be very pleased with what has taken place there, and I think that as it grows in, it's going to be very impressive.
Okay, well, hopefully that they'll be sending some of the top brass over there and take a look at what Vegreville's doing, the new incentives and the new vision how to do things like that. Okay, Councillor Riddick.
Okay, since we last met, August 21st, I also attended the council workshop. On the 21st, I also attended the Vegreville Learning Society meeting in preparation for their annual general meeting. And as I've mentioned earlier, that there is a new executive director working for Vegreville Learning, David Albrecht, who is from the area. He also works for the CALS version that is in, the CALP version, so that's adult learning in Two Hills. So Dave also is familiar to those that are in the area. On August 23rd, I also attended Minburn Foundation board meeting. We've got a few outstanding issues, and thank you to our chair and the building committee for doing all the extra work that you got to see some of that last week. It's taking up a lot of Councillor Lemko's time, as well as Councillors Kuzio and Ogrodnik. So thank you very much to them for doing that extra work. I also attended August 24th, the Vegreville Centennial Library fundraiser. A great opportunity to be able to see a wide range of folks that use the library and supported it. It was a perfect day to be out and about, and great to be able to be there with Councillor Bullock and do some surveys with people and try to get a better sense of what they're looking for in terms of being able to access the facility and services that they really value. August 28th was Vegreville Learning Society's annual general meeting, and the chair for Vegreville will be again Dwayne Halati, as he was previously the chair, but the vice chair will be Yulia Kalutska. Some of you might be familiar. She works at the FRN and also is quite active with the Vegreville and Area Stands with Ukraine Committee. So we've got a few new board members, and they're looking forward to partnering with some new partners, including being a little bit more active in terms of showcasing some of the training that they offer. September 3rd, the Legislative Committee meeting I attended, and September 4th also attended the Partnership Award video for Vegreville and Area Stands with Ukraine, and tonight's council meeting. I also wanted to just mention I had somebody that I was on FCM board with who was passing by Vegreville and texted to find out if our population has changed, because they noticed that the sign has changed outside of Vegreville. So they were quite impressed with the upgrade and the glow up of our sign outside of town. So I thought that I should mention that, because now we've become so accustomed to seeing the new sign that it feels like an old sign, but it really is truly a new sign. So just wanted to pass on a thank you to all of our staff that made that happen after a long 6-year process to get that changed. And that is my report.
I think for the population, we may have to go digital. As our population increases year to year, we won't have to keep changing it, we'll just update it.
You're right. Actually, I should mention that school started before the Labor Day weekend, and I will note that we'll see what happens in the end. Ale Horton School, from what I hear, is status quo in terms of the numbers. It's about normal for them at the beginning of the year, but the Vegreville Composite High School is starting the year with one of the highest numbers of students that they've ever started at the beginning of the year. Often they end the year with this number of students, but this is a very high point for them to start out the year, so they anticipate that it will be getting bigger.
Pretty much what we told Elkhorn Public School Board, yeah, okay. Thank you so much for your report.
Thank you.
Councillor Bullock.
Thank you, Mayor. August 21st, I as well attended the council workshop. August 24th, along with Councillor Rudick, volunteered at the Vegreville Centennial Library, taking surveys, and interesting seeing some people that frequent the library, but also there's some people from out of the community that use the library as well. So it's good to know that surrounding areas come to our library as well too, and it's important to know that there is the surrounding area that we support as well. So it's really good. We have a top-notch library in this area, and we're very lucky to have it. And it was a good day all around. Hot, lots of burgers served. Good day. September, tonight's town council meeting. As well, just like to mention, harvest has started in the area. Farm safety is important. Everybody out in the roads, just be a little patient with our farmers out there. They're trying to take off the crop as quick as they can, and sometimes they're a little tired, and you just want to be aware on the roads and stuff like that around. And a big thank you to the farmers for supporting this town. They support a lot of businesses in this town, so just want to know they are felt as a part of the community of Vegreville as well. And that's my report.
Thank you. Councillor Curtis.
Thank you very much. Starting on August 20th with our tourism board meeting. And again, I'm the stats guy, so I'll get a few stats in here for you, I'm sure. Just some, and I think Manager Brown maybe covered this in his report, but there's a few stats from the Canada Day event, because this is the first meeting we've had since it. So 188 people registered in the color run, which was awesome to see. 34 vendors in the market. 2 food trucks. I think one of them was broken down. There's supposed to be more, but one of them wasn't able to make it. And we estimate over 3,000 people attended the Canada Day event in total. I know the face painting, the lady that provides the face painting does a really good job, and it's lined up like before she can get the tent set up. It's the whole time, so I think she'll be back again next year. We sold roughly $1,800 worth of ice cream in that day. Paying age for mini golf was almost $430. Tons of sales in the concessions. It was just it was a great evening. We also had our content creation crew out there that flew their drone for different parts of the event and into the fireworks. So the fireworks display that we had, which was a nice 15 or so minute display, they had their drone like right up inside the fireworks. So we're hoping that with all of the other events this year, when we get this video finally, that our content and our advertising is going to look pretty stellar going into 2025. As far as excuse me, camping and roaming and people counseled at the Vic this far up to August 18th, it seems a bit down from the previous year, but we're kind of thinking that the fact that we have the same amount of staff, but we have a lot more going on there, that we're not able to capture as much as who's on the grounds and when, because we're running around doing the golf and the paddle boats and the bikes and all that. So I think that number's probably up a little bit, and we had a few weeks at the start that were pretty rainy and gloomy, so that will bring it down a bit as well. But ice cream sales are up. The mini golf, it says 723 people played mini golf as of the 18th, so that's awesome. As well, so we try to do some brainstorming in the meeting for what we can do next year. We're always trying to upgrade. So some of the things were brought up were bring your dog to the park day, so in conjunction with a different kind of event or activity. A long distance marathon between here and the town of Mundare, which might be called the Sausage and Egg Run. That was fairly clever. And somebody had thrown out a zip line across the pond as an attraction. So, I'm not saying these will all come to fruition, but just so you know, we're working hard brainstorming. With Go East, another thing is their social media traffic is through the roof. They were almost out of travel guides by the 18th. It's the most popular it's ever been. And the road trip game, which was about to finish in 2 weeks, seems like there was more people than ever doing the game. And Vegreville is the most popular stop in the game. So that is great to hear. On to the rest of my report. So then on the 21st, the council workshop. On August 22nd, I went to our regional emergency management meeting. So that is the County of Minburn, Town of Manville, and Innisfree, where we haven't had a meeting in a while, I think. So it was good to get back on, get the charter set up, get the phone numbers correct so that if there ever is an emergency that, affects more than one town or is bigger than the one town can handle, we'll be there for each other to give support. August 24th, I attended the library fundraiser as well. Got some baked goods, bought a few books. I just buy picture books. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, so I do quite a bit of reading with those picture books. And I think I had a hot dog as well. We had the ledge meeting on the 3rd. I stopped in on the 5th at the rec feasibility study. I stopped in twice, so I came when I was off work at lunch. And there was a few red stickers on all the different panel boards that you could pick what you wanted to see. And then when I came back later to tour for the information night, you could see there's a lot more stickers there. And the folks at Orange Crow were very excited with the feedback they were getting and the amount of surveys that were being done as well. So that's really good to hear. And then fall registration night, like I mentioned. And then tonight's council meeting, and that is it.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, let's keep us updated on those ice cream sales for sure. It is amazing how many people stop by at the Ag Park, the Pasanka Park. Okay, so on the 21st, I hosted an Alberta Hub meeting here in council chambers. It was just the executive, and we're looking how we're going to operate in the next 3 years with the decreased funding for RETAs that Minister Jones has announced, and so we're putting a survey together for all the municipalities that are involved. Of all the municipalities in the Northeast, there's only one that's not a hub member, which is kind of good to know. We had our council workshop on the 21st. On the 22nd, I had a full day of economic development with Jameson and myself, and phone calls and meetings. And then on the 22nd, we had a meeting regarding some grant funding and what opportunities may be available for us. So we'll let you know as we get more information on that. Ledge meeting on the 3rd, the video that was created by Jameson and his staff here for the award that's going to the Vegreville and Area Stands with Ukraine, and I can hardly wait to see that. Hopefully they did a good job mixing it up. Again, on the 5th, we had a couple more meetings with some potential developers and stuff in town. On the 5th, I attended the open house of the rec feasibility study and walked through the rest of the social center or the sign-up day. And tonight's council meeting. So I do have a couple of things that I would just like to get off my chest here. There's been a few mistruths being spread around town with some stickers and stuff that town council has decided to pay for our own funerals. So I just want to let the public know that the bylaw, if you were to read the bylaw, it doesn't say that. It says that the families would probably receive some flowers. So if you're at a local hairdresser downtown and he happens to tell you that council's getting voted in favor to have their funerals paid for, you can call him a liar. And some other things that have showed up in social media regarding billing to fight a fire at your house. We're not billing individuals, we are billing insurance companies. So if you look at your car insurance and you had an accident and you had coverage for a rental car, would you go out and pay to rent a car on your own? So that's who we're billing, is the insurance company. And almost every standard home owner's policy has fire suppression coverage in their plan. So please do not listen or read some of the social media posts that are out there. Actually, I thought more people would be upset that we haven't been doing this when most policies cover that type of firefighting. So I just wanted to get that off my chest, because I've seen a lot of stuff on social media, and people around town are starting to listen to some of these morons that are saying that council voted in favor of paying for their own funerals. So just so everybody knows, those people don't have a clue what they're talking about. Thank you. Is there any other business of council? Well, seeing none, we do have a couple of closed session items. So I would like to take a motion to go into closed session. Councillor Berry makes the motion. All those in favor? Carried. At 7:36, Leslie.